Welcome back to part 2 of our day out at the Hickory Aviation Museum. I'm here at the Hickory Regional Airport exploring this gem of a display of aircraft hardware. And we will start with this F-4B. McDonnell Douglas built over 5,000 of these aircraft until they stopped production in 1981. She's a big fighter, coming in at just under 62,000 pounds maximum takeoff weight. The aircraft was used extensively in Vietnam, sometimes called Old Smoky because of the trail of smoke it left behind. Here is an A-4 Skyhawk. This one was a small and nimble fighter, coming in at just over 24,000 pounds. This model aircraft was also used in Vietnam. Close look at the in-flight refueling boom. Can't see too much through this crazed canopy. Too bad. Here is an A-7 Corsair, built for aircraft carrier operations. You can see a few things inside despite the condition of the canopy. Here is an F-14 Tomcat. These were featured in the movie Top Gun. An A-6 Intruder. Correction, this is an EA-6B Prowler, a later version of the A-6. It's got that electronic countermeasures pod on top of the tail. These were used to search out and destroy radar sites, jam radio and radar signals, and gather electronic intelligence on enemy locations. Here's a look at the wing joint. There's plenty of stuff going on inside here. Here's an old Navy T-34 trainer, which is basically a highly modified Beach Bonanza. This was a primary Navy trainer for many years, and the Navy has completely phased these out of service. This aircraft is a T-2. The T designates it as a trainer. Pilots would transition out of the T-34 you just saw into this aircraft for basic jet training. You can see a little bit through the canopy. The Navy trained in this aircraft up until 2009 and has now replaced it with the T-45. I know this aircraft as an F-86 Sabre, a 1950s-era Korean warfighter, which was an Air Force aircraft. However, this is a U.S. Navy version of the aircraft and was designated as an FJ-3. Here is the EA-6B Prowler again. And over to the left is this, an SH-3 Sky King helicopter. These were used extensively aboard U.S. carriers for anti-submarine warfare. They would go out, drop a sonar into the water, and look for submarines. This one is the largest and most recent addition to the museum's collection, a P-3 Orion anti-submarine aircraft, typically called a submarine hunter. This aircraft arrived in September of 2017. There was a civilian airliner version of this called the Electra L-188. Here's one of her 4 propeller systems, 4 big flat blades with a diameter of 13.5 feet. To turn these big paddles, there's an Allison T-56 turbine engine sitting inside the nacelle producing 4,600 horsepower. Here's where the sonobuoys are dropped out of the belly of the aircraft. The forward fuselage of an F-14 Tomcat. This looks like a public relations piece the Navy likely took to public events. This is an F-5 lightweight supersonic fighter from the late 1950s, although it still looks pretty sleek even by today's standards. Back inside the Hickory Terminal building, there is an assortment of aircraft artifacts here in the lobby. Some drop tanks adorned with signatures. That's either an ECM pod or maybe a camera pod in the back. This sort of looks like an M61 Vulcan 20mm cannon. And here's an old school radio aircraft engine. Before I leave, I'm going to grab a bite to eat at the Crosswinds Cafe located in the airport terminal. It's time to jump back in the airplane and head for home. I had a lot of fun going through the museum, a gem of a find and very interesting place to visit. And it was free. The P3 is open to the public as of 19 May. And they also will have a very, very rare XF-15, which will be on display. An experimental aircraft that is powered by both a jet engine and a piston engine driven propeller. Very unusual, very rare, and they have the only one left in existence. Well worth a visit. That is all for today. Remember, life is a journey. Enjoy the ride, and thank you for watching.